somebody, I think most people feel like and I know as the bail bondsman and the president of the Ohio Professional Bail Bond Association, I do believe that every industry needs some type of reform. I mean, things have changed, times have changed, but this is just simply, I don't know, it reminds me of the Black Codes.
What does real bail reform look like?
And we're working on legislation ourselves. It should be probably the next month or two. It should kind of pop up and start circulating around. Real bail reform should have a bail schedule where it should be common sense. Where, no matter what county you're in the 88 counties in Ohio, if you get a charge, it's based on the schedule. It's a bail schedule guide where the judge has a discretion, and it still gives the judge full discretion, but the bond can't exceed over a certain amount. And also, we believe that they should enforce Rule 46, where people with minor misdemeanors, as long as they're victimless crimes, traffic crimes, should never get arrested in the first place.
Agreed. The big issue when it comes to Democrats and Republicans, this is a Republican piece of legislation. And one of the things the Republicans do really well is they know how to market and package and brand really well. The Democrats, you would have thought they caught on to that because they were able to do Obama as the first social media president, but apparently they didn't, because the Republicans took what Trump did and maximized on it, and they can package and sell anything to the American people. And this bill right here, as you just said, I mean, it's being packaged and marketed as true bail reform, and it's not reforming anything at all whatsoever. But it was introduced literally a month ago today on May 18th, and right now it has made its way into committee, into the Judiciary Committee, and it probably will make its way through the proper channels very fastly. But can you talk to us and explain to us right now what we could do to sort of stand with the bail bondsman community to bring about not only real true reform? I know you're working on legislation, but how we can do something to counter them pushing us through.
We can have real conversations with our representatives. I think they can always call their local bail bondsman and have a conversation. A lot of people don't understand the rights they're giving away. This bill talks about, and it sounds great. Think about it. Instead of getting bail, you could just get an ankle monitor. I don't know about you, but if there's never no job I've ever been at where I could get arrested on Saturday and walk into the office on Monday without getting strange looks, or even keep my job with an ankle monitor on.
Right.
There's no job for the average hardworking American who works overtime or 8 to 12 hours a day, where you say, hey, boss, I needed an hour out of the day so I can charge up my ankle monitor, or I need a 2-hour block out of the week so I can go to pretrial services. It's it's invasive. When you wear that ankle monitor, it's a scarlet letter. I mean, that is guilty. Especially being a brown person, if you're a minority in a situation, if you're a brown person, or if you have any hints of ethnicity, it's going to work against you. And people believe that, and Ohio's an at-will state. So when you show up to work with this ankle monitor, be surprised if you don't lose your job. I mean, I believe it's going to happen. I mean, I walk into the mall with an ankle monitor and somebody's going to be like, this guy's a criminal, let's watch him. It's just, no matter what he did. And then they're going to use that information. Nobody's talking about the information they're going to use, how they're going to use it, how they're going to start tracking, us or just people in general. And then there's another component. This is being pushed by the Buckeye Institute, heavily by the Buckeye Institute. And, if anybody does the research.
First off, what is the Buckeye Institute?
They're a political activist kind of organization. They kind of push different agendas based on, I don't know why they decided bail reform, but they usually just push different political agendas and try to
and I'm assuming typically conservative political.
Oh, yeah. Well, no, they're pretty radical at times, too. But, the thing is, there is a conspiracy here. I mean, they are funded by the Koch brothers, who own Georgia Pacific. Georgia Pacific has interest in toilet paper, papers. Um, Under this bill, where you don't have with this bill, they don't have to give you a right to bail. They can decide to hold you. Generally, if you're black and brown in these smaller counties where we're not representative, they're going to hold us. They're going to say, hey, you could get the max, or you could do these 2 or 3 years in prison, and you get the max of 30 years, or you could do a 2 or 3 years, whatever it be. And so more of us are going to go straight to prison, and less of us will go to jail, but more go straight to prison. And then where Georgia Pacific or the Buckeye Institute fits in, again, they're financially backed, and you can look this up. It's online. About 67% of their proceeds come from the Koch brothers. And if they own Georgia Pacific and they sell toiletries, anybody who's been to prison or been in jail, the average inmate is allotted 2 to 3 rolls of toilet paper every week. So, are they pushing this legislation to make money? Are they pushing this to really do good? That's something that I think people need to look into and use their good common sense.
All right, so something we probably should have done a little earlier. Could you explain to everybody what a bail bondsman is?
Bail bondsman, we're a secured bail. That's what we do. What we do is simply work with the family, the defendant, the indemnitors, the family, and we put up you sign in short, it's like paying a loan. We put up a promise to pay, showing that you're going to show up to court, and you pay us the 10%, and we can finance that for you. Most people, we do understand, can't afford that, and we can take as low as 1% down. But we'll put you on a promise to pay for the remainder of the payments. But we put securities to secure that you're going to make it to your court appearances. And that's what we do. We work with the family because we actually, unlike the court, to make sure that there's a success plan. Whether if people have drug problems, theft problems, anger management, where they get the resources so they can navigate the system, so we can ensure that they make it to their court date and get the best outcome they could possibly get.
On the county level, could we do something to bring about change when it comes to bail reform, working with our Franklin County commissioners to put legislation and pass laws on the county level?
Reinforce the Rule 46 and simply make a lot of things citable offenses. As a bondsman, and every bondsman would tell you the same, we don't want to bond out people who have minor traffic offenses, jaywalking tickets. It's stupid. They should never be arrested. It's a waste of taxpayers' money. It's a waste of their money. It's criminalized a person who's not a criminal. So I think they can do that. And number one, a bail schedule, even a county-wide bail schedule, a bail schedule guide. I'm going to say that it's not it doesn't direct them to what the bond is, but it gives them a guide of what it could be or should be. To make things just a lot easier, especially if you're not a threat. There are people who are not a threat, and a lot of times there are people who get higher bonds just simply because judges make I don't have a guide.
Mm-hmm.
And also, I believe everybody, now, a lot of what I'm going to talk about is criminal justice reform. They should have a status hearing after you have your appearance, get your appearance and have your arraignment, and bond is set you should, in 7 to 10 days, you should have a status hearing where your defense works with the prosecution and says, hey, this person's rights were violated. This doesn't meet this guidelines. And a lot of cases, I feel, will fall out the system, and it would stop burdening down the system. I mean, public defenders, prosecutors, the whole system is archaic, and they're overworked.
Yes, they are. Well, we're going to have to leave it there. You're welcome to on the show anytime here on the Unbought and Unbossed show. For today, that's the more you know about the cash bail system and the race's attempt at reform making its way through the State House. We're back right after this.
I am so thankful for StreamYard.
I love StreamYard.
I'm thankful for StreamYard.
I love StreamYard.
I am super thankful for StreamYard.